Occurred the 15th of July 1999, 23 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: 15 to 20 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object. Family sees triangular shaped UFO. First, I should say that this event occurred a long time ago, but my memory of the event is quite specific. However, I had always been a huge UFO fan before I witnessed the object, and after I had to report it. I may have reported this to your site before. We, my brother, myself, and the driver, my dad, were all driving down a road to get home after we had been out at my family's. This is a particularly country-type road, and I always see lights in the sky that I hope are real UFOs on roads like these, but quickly dismiss them as airplanes or other aircraft. This was not one of those nights. I think it was about 11:30 p.m. when we first spotted the object. Only my brother and I were witnesses to the triangular-shaped craft. My father had no interest in our "whoa, look at this," and other mentions of the unusual thing. He had to keep his eyes on the road, and I was bending my neck backwards just to get a look at it. What's original about my sighting was that the object seemed particularly interested in us and the car we were in. I felt it could sense our fascination of the object, and the feeling seemed that it was curious of our reaction, when most might be horrified. It hovered around 30 feet or less directly above our car and wavered slightly from side to side to give me a few good looks at it. It was definitely triangular without a doubt, with a red, white, and possibly blue lights on the tips, oddly. I thought I saw a light on the top which would make it a pyramid, but my brother saw no such thing. There were no odd car reactions, i.e. cars suddenly stopping, and the object simply left when we got to a more populated area. I think I saw a car far behind us in the incident, so we may not have been the only witnesses. Through the whole ordeal, the object emitted no sound, which makes it extremely unlikely that it was some kind of experimental government craft. Note that there were LAFs, no government bases or test sites in the area. After a careful analysis of what I saw, I concluded it was a UFO which could not be identified by any terrestrial craft or natural events.
Occurred the 19th of February 2001, 19 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 1.5 hours. No of observers. 4 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, aircraft nearby. Carmel, Indiana on US 31. On several occasions have noticed a bright light to the southwest. Thought it was Venus. However, this evening there were no other stars visible. In addition, I did see a jet approaching Indianapolis from the east, and it was clearly moving. The bright light, or lights, I saw disappeared after about an hour, although another set of lights, directly above but much higher, was still visible. I'm not sure what the objects were because 1, they did not move, 2, the one set of lights disappeared, and 3, no other lights, e.g., stars, planets, etc., were visible in the night sky other than the jet that I saw. NUFORC note: Venus currently is quite prominent in the southwest sky at the time indicated. PD.
Occurred the 15th of December 2004, 19 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: oval. Duration: 4+ minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: aura or haze around object. Left a trail: bright pinkish orange oval radiating light at 1935 close to the horizon and about 15 to 29 degrees east of due north. A oval starlight, very bright thing, quite close to the horizon. It was similar to the pinkish orange of Mars and much larger even at Mars' closest point. It radiated a kind of glow. I watched it for about 4 or so minutes and it never moved. I had it between 2 wires for placement. All of a sudden it went up like the opposite of a shooting star. Now this was a very clear night. I could see tons of stars and planes. There was a lot of air traffic. I am very familiar with the flight path as I am out back every night I am in town. This object was low to the ground and about 15 to 20 degrees east of due north.
Occurred the 15th of February 2006, 1 hour 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 20 to 30 minutes no of observers, 2 big fireball. I saw giant fireball, it looked as if someone put Mars in sky. I've drawn pic of location and object I was at. I tried taking pic with phone, but phone wouldn't load camera. However, I used phone call another guy who was up road about 2 miles to tell him. He said he was looking at same object. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thanks for your time. Not sure why this is capitalizing every word. This was not moon or sun, it was in north sky lower than planes.
Occurred the 31st of July 2006, 21 hours 14 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: oval. Duration: 30 seconds. No of observers. 2. My wife and I were at the pool when I noticed a black bug-like shaped craft with no lights. At first we thought it was a spider-shaped balloon, but it was not floating. Instead, it was like hovering pretty fast.
Occurred the 13th of August 2007, 1 hour 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: disk. Duration: no of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object, landed. Electrical or magnetic effects: the cigarette that changed a man's life. I was walking outside to smoke a cigarette when I saw a light flash, very dim but still much of a flash, and then a disc-like object appeared and flew directly over my house when it slowly faded. I walked out to my street when it had hidden itself from my vision. As I was walking, it flew close. Then it started somewhat landing. Then I tried to run back to my house when it felt as a massive brush of wind hit me from behind and I fell then in pain. I got up and as I saw the craft I swear started to open, and when I turned around my house was gone, no traces. It was just gone, and as I turned around I felt light. Then when I looked down I was flying toward the craft and I went inside. And then everything since then was blank, and when I woke up I was in my front room and my hand was scarred with this very odd symbol which quickly faded. I still have no memory of when I was inside the craft, but I truly hope that who I write this to can help me figure out what happened that night.
Occurred the 15th of January 2008, 20 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: circle. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object, landed round, small, no bigger than a van, red lights surrounding it, seen in dark sky, seemed to be falling at first. Saw an object in the sky over some trees. Object appeared to be falling rapidly, maybe crashing. Then object slowly glided down into some fields. This was observed in a dark sky between 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. The object was very small, not much bigger than a van, and had red lights surrounding it. It appeared to be round. Once object was on the ground, lights were no longer visible. Object was flying in a residential area, no airports etc. around. Only homes and cornfields. No sounds were heard, although I was driving at the time when observing it. Last year between October and December I observed what I thought was a meteor falling in the same area over the trees where I first observed this object in the sky.
Location: Carmel, Indiana, USA. Shape: other. Duration: 3 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object, low flying, horizontally flashing strobe lights. Reminiscent of CE3K, September 18, 2008, Carmel, Indiana, 39.978 N, 86.118 W. Clear, dark sky. Walking my dog, I glanced westward and noticed a set of lights well below normal flight path for area airports. We are approximately 12 miles from Indianapolis International and 5 miles from Indianapolis Executive Airports. We are on no flight path for either, but can observe final approach from our location. 4 to 6 brilliant white strobe lights, flashing in random horizontal pattern, no top or bottom red lights, no navigation lights, were moving rapidly, approaching from west. First observed 2055. Looked again after crossing street and they were much closer and at same relative altitude, neither ascending nor descending. We walked around a 2-story building, looked west in a 50-foot gap between buildings and the lights were much closer still. We returned to our original position, and the lights were gone. No engine noise was ever heard. No lateral motion. It moved in a straight line directly toward us from due west. Call to Executive Airport established no arrivals in the appropriate time frame.